Let's now cross to Zimbabwe, which has also been hit very hard by the cyclone. We have Farai Wakatuya joining us from Chipinge, Zimbabwe. Farai, aid agencies are struggling. We're hearing this all over the place to provide assistance to local residents affected by the cyclone. What more can you tell us?
Well, indeed, Richard, I think the biggest challenge has been accessing the affected communities because they've effectively been cut off. Roads have been washed away, bridges destroyed, and the airspace has been unsuitable for choppers and helicopters to go in and provide some of these materials. However, I can confirm that certainly today at one of the command centers that was set up at a place called Skyline in Chimanimani, we saw several helicopter rides going out with supply, with provisions, with medicines to some of the affected communities and coming back with the injured and hurt and providing medical attention to them. The road, the 50-kilometer road to reach the actual place was badly damaged, badly blocked. There were trees that had fallen on the roads. Parts of these roads have been washed away. So actually getting there was quite a mission in itself. And so that is the challenge that these aid workers have been facing. But certainly the situation has improved because the weather has changed, it has improved, and some of the roads have been unblocked, and so access is improved. But I did speak to some people who are deep within the affected areas. One person who came across one of the destroyed roads and washed away roads, who said that, look, a lot of the attention and focus is on the main bridges and main roads that have been destroyed, but there are smaller roads, smaller walkways and bridges that have also been washed away, and there's a lot of devastation in the deeper areas of Chimanimani, and they're still waiting for this assistance to get to them.
All right, Farai, well, at least we're happy to hear that there is some improvement. But after such a crisis, waterborne diseases are a common threat. How is this issue being addressed?
Well, indeed, the provision of clean water is one of the key things that government has prioritized. It has disbursed some $70 million towards this relief effort, this emergency relief effort, and a key chunk of that will go towards the provision of clean water. We know a number of civic society groups, NGOs, are also specifically focusing on water and sanitation provision because of that issue of waterborne diseases. Zimbabwe does have a very sad history of cholera, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases. So that is something that is of concern, something that the officials are certainly alert, alive to, and are addressing through the provision of clean water.
All right. Well, Zimbabwe's weather department is also issuing a flood alert and says heavy rains are expected to continue. Are authorities adequately prepared for this, Farai?
Well, the challenge that the authorities face is that to try and protect people, to safeguard people from those flash floods, they need to get to them and let them know that this is coming, that risk still stands and is still alive. Because these communities have been cut off, access, communication is very difficult. So the only way to actually get the word to them and message to them is to get to them physically. Now that's where the challenge is, because largely a lot of these roads have been destroyed. It's difficult to access those areas. So in that respect, there still remain a lot of survivors, people who may have survived this first wave of the flooding, who may still be at risk because of the predicted or projected flash floods, who may still be at risk and not even be aware that there's another risk that is unfolding. But certainly government says it's making a concerted effort now that it's been able to open up certain areas to go in there, to go in with army and military helicopters. We know that medical professionals have actually been flown in to some of the communities, so they will hopefully be messengers of this, that there is still that risk. Please go to higher ground, please go to safe places and seek refuge, that the risk is still ever present.
All right. Farai Wakatuya reporting from Chipinge, Zimbabwe. Thank you for that update and report.